And in this course, 30 years, we went through a lot of up and down. And in this course, we got a lot of support from people from all walks of life. Organizations like Learning Strategies, and the individuals, and from the people like Jim Nance to professionals like Glenn, Katrina, and Hong Lee, and then doctors, physicians from Mayo Clinic and other parts of the world coming to join us. So today, this is my great honor. I'd like you to meet my dear, dear friend who used to work in Mayo Clinic. And so she invited me to co-write a chapter on Qigong for the students of medical students. So that book is still in Mayo Clinic. And her name is Dr. Nishamanek. This nishamanek is such a beautiful, beautiful soul. And her energy is just, as a physician, as a doctor, her heart is so open. She was the international leader in alternative medicine, in interventional medicine. And she did a lot of studies with the genius, I call it the gurus of the physics, WilliamATiller. And so they worked together to focus on energy medicine. They solely believe that the body has that energy, has the medicine. Once you activate it, it can help you to heal. You can heal your body without medicine. So her information already in the handout. I don't need to say anything further. Let's stand up and give Dr. Nishamanek a big applause. Yeah. Okay. So it's yours. Yeah, right.
Is this a conference full of chi or what? This is way different than rheumatology. I'm always looking for the coffee machine, and I go, ugh, another PowerPoint. I'm so honored to be here today. And when I received an email a couple of weeks ago from Spring Forest Qigong, something caught my eye. I said, conference. I go to a lot of conferences. I thought, one more, but Spring Forest Qigong. I was so astonished. I said, 30 years? I wrote to Elena, please, can I come? She says, I was hoping you'd say that. And then I said another brave thing. I said, can I speak for about 10 minutes? I've known Master Lin for a long time. And we have some unusual experiences together, which I will share. But Master Lin, you're my teacher. You're my mentor. And you're my friend. You know, let me see if this advances. A few nights ago, I was driving my mother home. I live in Orange County, California. Yes, I've been awake since 3 a.m. today. So if I look a little disheveled, but I'm very excited, full of chi. I was all fired up. Everything was smooth sailing on Delta. But a few nights ago, I was driving my mother home, and at the stoplight, I realized, Mother, I'm going to Minneapolis this Friday. I won't be home. And the first thing she said was, say hello to Master Lin from me. I thought, how did you know? I mean, I didn't say anything. But that's the mystery, isn't it? How does Mother know Master Lin? I thought, okay. So, let's see if this will advance. Right. I've been a doctor for more than 30 years. Okay? And I'm a rheumatologist, and what do I do in rheumatology all day long? I treat people with chronic illnesses, inflammation, damage. And I do very obediently all of the things I was taught to do at Stanford. I prescribe drugs. And I knew there's a limitation here, and all of you know that. I'm talking to the choir here. All flock together. So you already knew that. And all those years ago, and I was not only at Stanford, I was really on my way up, professor, all those things, fellow of this, fellow of that. I knew there's a better way. There has to be a better way than drugs and more drugs and research of drugs. But I didn't know what is the question we have to ask about healing. Okay? And so I had a little inkling about energy. That was all. But I didn't know the step forward. And I was at the Mayo Clinic. And then one day, there was, rumblings in the clinic, and there was a colleague in hematology, Dr. Neil K. I remember him, and he said, look up Junyi Lin. Is Neil K. here today? Holy moly, Neil, Dr. K. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's him. I didn't expect this, okay? Wow, big hug. Because you told me, look up Junyi Lin. And when you don't know in medicine what you don't know, it's like looking for a needle in a huge haystack. We're in Minnesota. It was like looking for a needle in a haystack. And then he said, Junyi Lin, look him up. I grabbed onto that. I looked him up, and I called Master Lin. And he said, sure, come and see me. I got on that 52 freeway, straight line to Chanhassen. I remember that day very well. It was summer. I arrive in Chanhassen, and Master Lin greets me, and we meet in his garden. There's a garden table. He's sitting there. I'm there. Boy, I was ready. Notebook, questions, academic, linear mind, There was just one problem. I had the worst raging headache of my life. Now, I don't ordinarily get headaches. I give other people headaches, but I don't get headaches. And I was really pen over, the book, my notebook, and I was really struggling to focus. And suddenly, my glance is on my book, my notebook, and light as a feather, there's a breeze. And just like that, my headache was gone. I looked up and I said, you did something. What did you do? I did that. I said, what did you do? Because his hands were under the table. I don't know what he was doing. What did you do? And there was this serene look on his face. And he said, you have a headache. And I said, you saw that? He says, oh, yeah, you have a block here, and there's a lot of energy over here. I cleared it up. I cleared your chakra up. And I thought, what? Just like that. elegant, no overdosing, just precise. I was clear, okay? He took my suffering away. That's really, okay? There was more though. For the first time, when you have a headache, let me tell you what medicine will do. It will look in your eye, it will take your blood pressure, do you have a toothache, do you have sinus problem, do you have a fever? Master Lin did nothing of that. He didn't even say, here's 2 Tylenol and here's a glass of water. He didn't do nothing, no drugs. And that was a big revelation for me. I am a very conventional doctor. And I sat there totally amazed, and he smashed obstacles in my thinking. Do you see? No brick and mortar, no touch, no physical exam necessary. He saw my suffering. And that's when I realized, I can't write this book chapter on my own. I'm not a master, nothing. I can only do randomized controlled trials. That is not where it is. It'll take us a little way. That's the gold standard in medicine, by the way. Some do Qigong, some don't do Qigong. Please, you know. He said yes. He said yes. I found my co-author. That's enormous because I don't know about Qi. I told you I don't know the questions to ask. He said yes, and we went on to publish this complementary and alternative medicine all those years ago. This was very seminal because it was one of the first times, if not the first time, that Qigong was covered academically. Okay, we went deep into this chapter. I turned off every rock. I wanted to look underneath. And we looked at all aspects. And I'll tell you, when I look at a swollen toe, now I realize there's a bigger story here. Where's the energetic connections? What's the energy anatomy? How does that Qi change your physiology and chemistry? How does it augment the drugs we even prescribe? He's never said don't go to your doctor. These are important principles. And then, of course, Qigong in clinical applications. We looked at ADHD, children with ADHD, right? This is it's popular right now. Qigong, we covered that all those years ago, 20 years ago. All the way to lung diseases, asthma, pain, fibromyalgia. But this is where it was. This is the line that really even today resonates. And you saw it on the movie. It's a little hard to read there. A healer in every family and a world without pain. Park that in your mind. A healer in every family and a world without pain. And you know, these manuscripts are actually peer-reviewed. There's a group of people, and they say, we don't want this. We don't, revise, need references. Where did that come from? They left that line alone, thank God, because that sets the tone. What is Master Chun Li saying? I couldn't say that, not this poetically. A healer in every family in a world without pain, because Nisha's only worried about rheumatoid. I mean, let's be honest. But here's the thing, as I wrote the book chapter. We don't know about Qi, okay? In medicine, we can't measure it. We don't have a blood test for it. It's colorless. You don't smell it or taste it. You can't put it under a microscope and say, oh, there's Qi. You can't dissect it at the bedside. I know my anatomy classes. How do you get underneath? What is the characteristic that we call Qi? I was on a mission because he showed me a power that we must understand. And we need to understand it from the university perspective because that's where our doctors are coming from. We have to educate, and we have to start early. So I wanted to get underneath the hood of what is Qi. So I hit the books. Medical textbooks. I said, I must have missed it somewhere. Medical journals, I really did. I looked. And this is what happened. Qi, biofield, ki, prana, vital force. Look, you cannot do science if you do not have an agreed upon definition of what Qi is. Do you see the problem? Just because you do not know or see Qi doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So this is the problem in medicine. You're looking at it. I was overwhelmed, but I was not going to let go. I said, there must be an answer because it's self-evident. I do Qigong. I feel something. It's self-evident. It's not in my head. He took my headache away. He didn't touch anything. Then came this. This was my, you might say, light bulb, boing. Because when you talk about energy, there is science, but it's not in the medical journal. You have to look in the right place, and it's in physics. Bingo. Subtle energies. The word subtle confuses people. Almost seems, oh, it's kind of weak. It isn't weak. Physicists are used to dealing with invisible things. So Dr. Tiller coined the term subtle energies because you can't see. It's invisible energy, but it's there. And in that paper are equations to describe subtle energies. Now I had a foothold. It is scientific. You can put a number on it. You can reproduce it. Wow. We should be teaching this in medical school, huh? I contacted Tiller. I said, oh, please, another needle in a big haystack, okay? And he said, well, let me think about it. That's Professor Tiller from Stanford University. An iconic mind. He not only did conventional, a genius in math, an engineer, connect the dots. That's his gift. An engineer knows how to connect things together. He said, okay, can you come? I said, why not? This is the way to the truth. Then he said, I don't have funding for you. Who cares? Who cares? And I took a leap. Boom! I literally overnight, I came back to the division of rheumatology, and my chairman said, Nisha, I've lost you. I can see it. I can see it. You're over there. He says, physics, are you sure about this? My family thought I'd lost my marbles. I found my marbles, okay? But I took a leap, and I said, I'm gonna study this. One of the lessons, this is very familiar to all of you here, and this is what Tiller always said, the engine of life is energy. Right now, your body, all of those energies, the subtle energies are animating. I'm able to do this because of the subtle energies. I'm able to move it and talk to you and create information so that I can, entertain, elevate, put more Qi in. But this is it. Energy is the raw material to repair, rejuvenate your body. And the reality is you're getting a new body every 6-8 weeks. You're getting a whole new body. The more you do Qigong, right down to the bone marrow, you can get new immune systems. Because I've seen it in my practice. And Master Lin used to say this, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. This is the law number 1. You all know this. It's not, when I say physics, people go, oh, this is too hard. I said, oh, actually, you just need the concepts. Don't worry about it. There won't be a pop quiz out of this, okay? So if we say qi, the energy of your body is like a battery, where is everyone right now? Are you fully charged up? Say yes. Yes. Are you running on empty? If you are, if you're silent, just Spring Forest Qigong will pump you right back up. But why is the full battery important? Why are we emphasizing this? And I will never forget what Master Lin said in one of our workshops at the Mayo Clinic. He says, you have to be a healer. You have to be fully charged to be able to use your intent and to send that qi to help. You cannot be depleted. So, from the Twin Cities, everyone here, you are a healer. You are the healers. And the world is without pain because of you. This is the family. And this is the amazing thing that Master Lin, I experienced it within a few feet of that garden table, the headache going away. He could send his qi throughout the state of Minnesota. Wow. And so we come to this great gift of qi, distant healing. Is there a limitation here? What do you think? Yeah. Because from Minnesota, Master Lin connects to all of the North America. And it is from Minnesota that he connected with my mother. My mother, Master Lin, remember how many phone calls? She had some blood pressure, and she would say, I don't like these drugs. You call Master Lin on the phone. Yeah. And he would say, do this finger, massage it down, go down, down, down. And she said, I feel so much better. Oh, this is awesome. And then, with all of this qi, she'd have a bigger step. And then, bossier. My mother is bossy. It's great. She's like a mama. Better sleep, better bone density. Don't think he was just treating your blood pressure. This is the gift of qi. It knows what your body needs. So my mom was a beneficiary of Spring Forest Qigong and distant healing. And of course, it's not even a few thousand miles. It is across the earth. A healer in every family in a world without pain. You're looking at it. Okay. So this is my book. And I studied what is the principle of this distance healing. Because Tiller did that research, Professor WilliamATiller, and he showed. He was based in Arizona, he had labs in Arizona, and he could send his qi, his intention, all the way to Milan, Italy, a physics lab in Italy, replicating the work. How many miles is that? I don't know, but it's a lot. And qi can be very precise. One corner, one address in the basin, in that detector. How is it possible? Can you see the precision here? It's remarkable, but physicists know this. And that connectivity is the field. You're all connected through a field. You're never separate. So we have to forget this physical separation, you over there, I'm over here, We think about this in medicine, treatment here, placebo here, doctor there. No, it doesn't work like that. There's connectivity. This is part of the reason for the placebo effect, by the way. But we're taking another leap of the gift of qi, enlightenment. How many of you walked through the offices of Spring Forest Qigong and seen, have you seen this wonderful tanka? Not this specifically, but Master Lin has a tanka, a Tibetan painting of Shakyamuni Buddha at the time of enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. And you will see the Buddha is reaching down to the earth with his right hand and touching the ground. What is he doing? The earth is his witness as he dissolves the last remnants of ego, of last remnants of separation. It's a very amazing promise of Qi, of Qigong. And on the left hand, Shakyamuni Buddha is holding his open hand in meditation. So enlightenment is the realization of your true nature. You're not just a body. You are energy and your information and your consciousness itself. We're in a fast society. We need shortcuts to enlightenment. Does anyone recognize these objects? Take a look. Yes. Buddha relics. Look closely. We think that Buddha passed away 2,700 years ago. No, he left his physical body, but he's still here in the ring cells. Relics. Why are they special? And they've been kept in monasteries all this time, unbroken from the time of Buddha till today, present day. And this is a way for students and ordinary people to come into contact with Buddha nature very quickly. So would you believe it, the relics were on tour, and they went to Gyuto Monastery in Minneapolis. That's where I first saw them. Boing, that was another boing. So Lama Zopa Rinpoche is a heart disciple of the 14th Dalai Lama. I may be taking too long. If I am, just call and just shout out. But I'm having fun. I'm full of Qi. When you come in contact and you gaze upon the relics, everything stops. Your mind, your brain goes into stillness. You feel a sense of unity with everything and everyone, and your heart is fully open. And when that happens, you don't want to go back to computer and switch on the Mayo Clinic, and you have to almost wear dark glasses and say, can you just hold on a moment? Can you speak slowly? I don't know what you're saying. It was all garbled. It really is. You have to almost energize yourself back here. So Lama Zopa is right. Have a taste of Buddha nature. What does that feel like? And so the relics were on a tour. Free. Isn't that incredible? So the sacred relics of Buddha emanate. They hold his Qi. It never decays. And that's the promise. Your physical will go, but here, your Qi survives. And when you have developed your Qi, that is the biggest gift you can live and leave behind on earth, that you have become Buddha nature. So they came to my home in Los Angeles. And look at this Maitreya statue. Do you see something? You see the heart, and it's emanating rays of light. It radiates throughout planet Earth. And they came to our home. And you know what? I sent out a call because it's very rare for relics to come in a home, a residence. We were the only home that the relics ever came to. They always went to a basilica, a Gyuto monastery, but they stopped at our home, the monk home. I made a call out. Mayo Clinic, come on over. And one person listened to that call, and he came. Master Lin, you came. I will never forget that. This is the altar, the baby Buddha bath, you can see there. And there's Master Lin with my brother Raj. He's giving a baby bath to the baby Buddha. And when you do that with intention, you're letting go more and more separation, more limitations. They dissolve. He was there. From Minnesota, he came and he stayed with his friend, Rob Goralnik, right? The gentleman in the light blue shirt. And there we are. He was there for the entire 3 days. It was very special. I've never seen anyone meditate so deeply as Master Lin. Still, no disturbance. He's not itching, one eye on the clock. Okay? Just serene. It's beautiful. So this is from this book. My first book of Qigong was this one. Level 1 for health. This is a beautiful read, by the way. And he writes, the essence of Qigong, everything comes out from emptiness and returns to emptiness. From the unmanifest rises the manifest. Sounds familiar, huh? It's this book. And so Master Lin is transcending levels of Qi. He's going higher. And now he's writing on the Heart Sutra. What was that Buddha saying? Radiating light. And the essence of Heart Sutra is what? That form and emptiness are one and the same. You're sitting on a solid chair, but if you bang on it, it feels solid, doesn't it? But we know physics will say it's held together because the forces of Qi hold it to become solid. It's Qi. So when you meditate on these truths, you can really free yourself from all of these limited beliefs and you can go higher. For me in medicine, it's very limited. Medicine is a sacred art. And every day you want to connect with the human story and help them because that's the divine ground. Do no harm. I'm still a conventional rheumatologist, but this informs me now that to tell my patients, reach deep into your heart. What is meaningful to you? What matters to you the most? Those are the questions I ask. So Master Lin, how do you describe him? He's not just a Homo sapiens, he's Homo illumini, self-illumined. That's his enlightenment, Homo illumini. Yeah. This is also from this book. This touched me so much that I'm sharing it with you here. Master Lin was meditating deep inside a cave for several weeks. It was a Qigong instruction camp. He's meditating and he sees during meditation 3 men talking. He goes closer and sees their identities. Jesus Christ, Buddha, Lord Buddha, and Lao Tzu. And the message was very clear. They are brothers. We're all together. We're a human family. And this is so beautiful. If you have this book, pull it out of your shelves and read it again. It's very precious. So, Qi, subtle energies, become masters of it because that's the candidacy to take you from this realm, physical time and space, to eternity, non-physical, non-time bound. Who cares about the clock? Okay. So mastering Qi, you're operating and accessing very high levels of nature. Each and every one of you is like a light. All of you. I can see every time I look around, each one of you is a light. Treasure that light. Show others the light. Show them back home. Ignite the light in others. Yeah. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, Master. We'll see each other in dinner. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Nishamanek. And so we have been friends over 20 years. I remember at the time when I was invited to her mom's place, her home, and wow, there's a lot of people. And I invited my dear friend, who was the former executive director of Warner Brothers from Hollywood. And that was the gentleman sitting next to us, and we went there. We had such a great time. Now, talking about the relics, and this is one thing that really giving me that enlightening moment. You know what? Those relics from Buddha have been kept over there over these 2,000 years. Relics. Steel begets relics. There is more relics coming out from the original relics. So, what is that? Dr. Nisha put it very beautifully. That is the Buddhahood. That's the energy. That's the Qi continues.